Well, yesterday wasn't just another date in the calendar. It was the day the United States formally ended the era of free trade as we knew it. Tariffs were teased, but now they've been triggered. 66 countries got hit with blanket 10% tariffs, and a handful of others like Brazil, Canada, and India, they got slammed with penalties of 25 to 50%. The U.S. tariff rate just soared to its highest level since the 1930s. What's the message? The global economy doesn't run on friendship anymore. It runs on alignment, with or without us. Hey, this is Frank with America's Geopolitics. If you're sick of the globalist bullshit and ready for straight talk, subscribe to America's Geopolitics now. Let's break it down. Now, what does this August 1st move really do? Well, the USTR rolled out the Liberation Tariff Framework, a hard reset on how America does trade. 66 nations got hit with across-the-board 10% tariffs. Countries like Canada, 35%, Brazil 50%, India 25%, Taiwan 28%, South Africa 33%, no exceptions, no phase-ins, no maybe later clauses. These are locked rates, posted publicly, and implemented immediately. For decades, tariffs were used as threat. Now, they're permanent fixtures of the new economic strategy. This is more than an economic story. This is a strategic shift. What Trump's team is doing isn't protectionism in the old school sense. It's reconstruction, a deliberate move away from reliance on unstable partners and towards something much harder to build, to be honest. Domestic resilience. This isn't the White House saying, if it's critical, we're making it here. If it's strategic, we're controlling it. And the markets? Oh, they hate it. The Dow tanked 700 points. NASDAQ fell more than 3%. Retail and logistics stocks were especially hit. Some of this was baked in, but add a disappointing July jobs report and inflation jitters, and investors hit the panic button. But here's what they're ignoring. The U.S. is poised to collect over $500 billion in new tariff revenue in the next year alone. That's money that could go into infrastructure, reshoring, or even offsetting tax cuts down the line. Painful for corporations? Absolutely. But potentially transformative for American industrial capacity? Definitely. Let's talk winners and losers. Winners, EU, they cut a last-minute deal. Their tariff cap is around 15%. Japan and South Korea, they quietly signed on. They'll pay more but stay inside the system. Losers? Man, Canada, which assumed its proximity would protect it. It didn't. Brazil, which tried to go neutral and got smacked with a 50% penalty. India, which hedged and got left out. This is what happens when you assume the world will keep running on the old rules. I think those days are over. Why? By October or November, you'll start to notice gaps on shelves. You'll hear more supply issues from stores, and some imported products will quietly double in price. So is this a mistake or is it calculated? The administration calls it calculated friction. Short-term pain, long-term gain. You don't rebuild the manufacturing base without upsetting the people who got rich shipping everything overseas. Well, let's zoom out. This is the first time since World War II that the U.S. isn't trying to stabilize the world. Think about that for a minute. And this time it's trying to reshape it. Energy deals, security partnerships, sanctions enforcement, they all now come with a price tag. Access to the U.S. market. You want access? Align your interest. If you stall, delay, or try to hedge, you get Canada, you get India, and if you're Russia or Iran, you just get shut out completely. The global power map is being redrawn. Mexico is emerging as the center of the North American manufacturing revival. Vietnam is absorbing the light electronic trade from China. Poland is becoming the U.S. gateway into Europe. And then there are the ones who missed the boat. Brazil has no clear plan forward. India is watching the train leave without boarding. And Russia, it's going to take them 10 to 15 years to rebuild basic infrastructure once the Ukraine war ends, assuming the war even ends. These are countries sitting out the realignment, and it's a costly mistake. August 1st wasn't a trade war. It was a global reset. For the first time in decades, the U.S. isn't asking, it's dictating the terms. The American consumer is the prize, and access to that consumer is no longer guaranteed. You want in, you play by the new rules. You delay, you lose your spot. This is Fortress America, and it's not going away, whether it's Trump or whoever the next president is from whatever party. Tomorrow, we'll explore what this means for Taiwan, Indonesia, and the Gulf states. Countries now caught in the middle of America's new tariff regime. Until then, this is Frank. If you like what you heard, subscribe to America's Geopolitics. See you next time.